Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. I wanted to start this Monday off with a little chit chat that I have had to learn the hard way and that I have to have with myself quite often. But I've done it so many times now that you'd think it would get easier. I guess it does get easier, but yet it's still hard, especially as you grow and as things become bigger and bigger, for lack of a better term. It becomes easier, the notion and knowing what you need to do, but as things get bigger and bigger, it's still hard. So I was thinking about it over the weekend, and it came up again. I received some messages, and so I just thought I'd kind of talk here about it, because if you can get on the other side of it, there's so much that there's so many benefits and so many rewards that you can reap if you can just get past it. So today I just wanted to talk about starting. That's it. If you don't start, how can you get to anywhere, right? So, I mean, this is anything in life, but what brought it up to me is, well, it's happened many times in my life, but what's been going on behind the scenes is I have a lot of people that have been messaging me about the new course we launched, and they will say to me things like, "Oh, I just don't know if this is the right time," and like asking a ton of questions about the course. They're thinking it forwards, backwards. They just have a ton of questions, and I don't know if I should spend this money. These are my goals, and all their goals and what they see for themselves is everything that's inside my course and that I can help them reach. But there's something about them just getting over that hump, or on one side you've got the talk that's like, yes, go get them. Like it's pushing you to motivate you. And then you've got that other side of you that's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't. Stay where you are. Stay in this little box. Stay in your comfort zone. You like this comfort zone. Like, this is all we've ever known. So why would you want to change anything? And that voice is sometimes so much louder and so much more powerful that it will literally paralyze us from ever moving forward and from ever reaching goals and things that we want to do in our life. And so that was, to be completely honest, it wasn't even about the course that I wanted to sell these people. And there were 3 people in particular that I was really going a lot further than just what's inside the course, but just you need, when you've got these goals and aspirations, and those were given to you, and those aren't just like things that you're just, even if they're crazy, even if you think they are the most craziest goal or craziest aspiration, they're there for a reason. And getting to those, you will never even reach those or never even get in the direction of those if you can't just start. Just start. We will, and this is, it came up with, my course. I have had people question back and forth about joining my membership. It can be, starting a podcast, a website, writing a book, joining the gym. Like it's throughout your entire life. So it's not just about, that it came up this weekend for me, but it's happened to me over and over and over again. And if we can't just start, just put one foot in front of the other, we will never know. We will never here's the thing too. It's like, you may have this goal, this lofty goal at the end. So for me, I was really excited. This has shown up in many, many times, but for me, it's like, I started this website and this blog. I knew nothing. I literally knew nothing. I am not a technical person. I am not, believe me, my team can attest to this. If there's something technical to do, I'm like, I freak out because I know I'm gonna screw something up. But I started a blog not knowing a thing. I started a blog because I read a coupon blog, and my friends and family were telling me I needed to get my ideas out there. And I thought, well, this coupon blog thing, it seems pretty easy. So I'm just gonna jump in and try it. And literally that's what I did. I jumped in, found a free platform. I started. I started not knowing what I was doing. I started, to share ideas with family and friends that wanted to know more about it. That's what I started for. And then, I started learning more and more, obviously. And then I started getting loftier goals. And then I started seeing where this could go. And so then I had, bigger goals, and I had to start doing other things and learning other things. And I would have never known the adventure and the road. Oh my gosh. I wanted to grow the blog, and then I learned that you can earn an income. And then I started learning all these things. And so I just thought, well, this is what I have to do, and this is where I'm going to end up. If I would have known like all of the other things that have, and don't get me wrong, do not get me wrong. It's a ton of work. It's a ton of learning. It's a lot of work, but the amount of things that it's done for our family and for me and for our finances and for like so much, if I would have known that was all included in this end goal that I thought, I would have jumped on this bandwagon a lot earlier, a lot sooner. But the thing is if you don't start, if I would not have started not knowing a thing, it was not perfect, you guys. It was so bad. I wish I could, let me just paint a picture. So if you have been to my website now, mycreativedays.com, you kind of see there's, usually like if I'm sharing a project, there's a before and after, and like, there's like a list of supplies I use, and, never is it going to be perfect. There's always things I can improve on. But back in the day, you guys, I would share one horrible dark photo of the end product and say, I made this. And I wouldn't list the supplies. Because I was reading a coupon blog, which is just little blurbs of words and like how you can save the money and where to find the coupon. And so that's what I was emulating, you guys. Oh my goodness. But I started. So the name of the story, or the name of the whole goal here, is that I started. And like I said, I wouldn't have gotten where I am today unless I started. So we always wait for when we want to start something, or we have a goal, or we say, I know I can do that, but the timing isn't right. It may cost some money. I don't know all the things. I should do this first. I'll wait till I get done with this and then I'll start it. I'll wait till I'm going to start in the new year. That's when I'm going to do it. I'm just going to start the new year. This month is kind of busy, so I'm not going to start it. Like we go through all these things. Why? No, I'm not going to do it now. I got to do this. It's never going to be the perfect timing. You have to just start. And starting may look totally different. Start by taking that course you've wanted to take. Start by reading that book that's going to teach you how to do something. Start by making that phone call. Start by setting up that meeting. Start by calling the gym to see what their hours are and what the cost is going to be. You just start. Take that initial step forward. And then, from there, things are just going to snowball. But if you don't start and you just stay in the paralyzed zone of, it all sounds great, but I don't know. I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of nervous. Aren't we all? Aren't we all with everything new that we're starting? Like, that is life. Every day, if you're doing something new, it's scary and it's nerve wracking, and we tell our kids, you'll get through this and push through this. And, you've got a speech in class. It'll be over with in 30 minutes or, 10 minutes, or, we preach all this stuff to our kids. But yet when it comes to us, it's the same words. It's the same speech we need to give ourselves, because if we don't start, we're never going to know. So, and I just think it's so funny too, when we are starting something, and this is, I'll talk about a couple more personal stories, but when we are starting something new. So for me recently, it was kind of a bigger purchase. And so I have these goals and things I want to do, and I needed to make a bigger purchase because I just saw that helping the process and that, but I literally was paralyzed with all of the negative things that it could be. That's going to cost a lot of money. Where can I use this thing? How can I use this thing? What's it going to look like for the family? Is it going to really, like all the negative things, right? I'm going through my head. Well, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, that's all I thought about. That's it. where is the positive? Like, this can help me reach my goal. I know that I'm going to, there's more benefits than all there are benefits from this purchase, and like all the positive things. Like, if we can just train our brains to start out, when something scary comes about, to start thinking of all the positive outcomes instead of instantly going to the negative or the not so pretty parts, I think it would just be so much easier. So that is one thing I'm working on when I have something big, hard, and scary coming up, or I need to just start and do something. I'm just going to try and retrain this brain to start thinking of the positives and not the negatives all the time, and it's so funny because I will literally, it just happened with that. It was like, okay, I can give you a list of all the negatives. I really can. And the positives are just so hard to push out. But when you think about it, the reason that this goal or this thought or this purchase or this, aspiration, whatever it is, came to you is because of all the positives. All those positives is what you thought about. And then, your dreams and the goal or whatever that would come from that, that's what it is. But yet when it comes down to it, it's all the negatives, why you can't, why you shouldn't. But if you just start, think of the positives, that's a little more helpful. And a lot of times, and here's another thing. So I'm just reading my notes here. So sorry for the little pause there, but, when you have to put your money, time, or effort behind something, right? So, that's when we start second guessing ourselves. Especially money is a big one for people, which, I get it. I've been there. There are still things, I remember back in the day when it was, should I buy this $20 course, or should I buy this, $25 webinar? I know it's going to help me, but it's $25, and it's like, but every single time I made those purchases, I learned so much, and I made that money back and then some, just by everything I learned. So, now, when courses or, memberships or things I want to join now are in the thousands of dollars, it's like, you do obviously weigh pros and cons, but it's just not that scary. Oh my gosh, like, I have to put this money behind it because I know what I'm going to get out of it. I know at the end, it's going to make things better. I'm going to make that money back from the things that I'm learning in there. But I just have to start. You just have to buy the program. You just have to purchase the whatever it is. That's your start. And so, it's same with time. So if something, you have a goal or you want to do something and it's going to take a lot of time. So I hear, like, we just had our, annual fall yard sale thing, and everybody will say to me, I really, 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 we need to do this. I need to have a sale like this. We have so much stuff, but that'll take up a whole weekend, or that'll just take up too much time. Well, when you sit and then we just sit in that paralyzed area where then we don't ever do it. Then we accumulate more stuff. Then our home is stressful and it's not organized, and there's just so much stuff everywhere that you just stay stuck in that because it's going to take too much time. Same with like effort. I want to go to the gym, and I really want to, I want to get more on a health, I want to be healthier and I want to do all this, but that's a lot of effort. Like, that's, an hour in the gym or, on sweating, but that's a lot of effort. So it's like time, money, and effort. If that has to go into it, then we just start, we just fall back into the negative things, and think about the positives and just start and then see where it leads you. If there's a will, there's a way. So like I always say, especially with the money. So back in the day when those smaller amounts really did make a big difference for our family's finances and things, I had to figure out a way to, cut out something else, or to sell something here, or to make up that money that I wanted to spend to get me to the next goal or the next, whatever it was that I wanted to reach. So if there's a will, you will definitely find a way. And if you need help with that way, message me, because I can help you. I can help you find that way. It's basically give up something now to gain so much later. So I'm just reading my notes again. So we all have dreams. We all have aspirations. And I hear from people all the time. So when I'm sharing, the course or the membership or whatever, I hear from people, messages, emails that say, I still want to do this, but I know I can do this, but this would make a big difference in my life, but I know this could change our family's finances, but. And it's like we want to do all those things, but yet we just stay in this paralyzed little thing. I should buy this course, and then I will send them coupon codes and like trying to make it more affordable. And then they're still, it's like talking them off the ledge. Like, you know, you've got to start. Like I've given you everything I can give you, right? Like this opportunity is right in front of you. Now you have to grab this opportunity right now. Here it is. You've got to start. You have got to put one foot in front of the other. And this is in line with what you're telling me your goals and your, like, you know, your hobby or your, you know how to paint or whatever it is, you know, it's all in line. Now what's holding you back? You have to start. So, like a couple of personal stories for me was this blog. And so I got it to a point where I was doing daycare full time and I was working on my blog and my website and everything else full time, literally. And then I had 2 kids of my own and a husband and a house and, you know, all the things. And it got to a point where I had to make a huge decision and I had to either give up the website or I had to give up the daycare. Something had to give because I couldn't do it all anymore. And so, you know, Matt and I, we sat down, we had a huge talk. We talked about goals and where we want to be. And I'm grateful and thankful that he's always supported me in all of this. But he was seeing what it was doing and he saw how it could go. And so I had to make that decision and then start full time with my website and everything else that I was growing. And it was hard. It was so hard. And I did weigh those pros and cons. There were more pros than cons, but it was just one of those things where I'm like, if I'm going to do this and now I have these goals and I see where it can go, I have to give away something and I have to start fully giving this my full-time attention completely. And so if I would not have done that, there are so many things that would have been a lot different. There are so many things that would have been a lot different just from starting and not knowing, right? You have to have some faith. When you start, you have to have some faith. I had no idea where this could go, what this could do. I mean, I had some, right? Like I knew, you know, when I was starting it full time, the only thing that I had, obviously I had things to do and I knew what I was doing, but like, I just did not know the different, you know, turns and roundabouts and every other like curve that was going to be along the way. And I'm so glad I didn't because it's been such a fun ride. So another thing is flipping houses on our own. You know, Matt is a super laid back guy. I think if you guys have listened to our podcast together, you can kind of get that sense. But I'm always like, what's our next goal? What can we do? You know, if you want to do this, we got to do that. And, you know, like, so I would write down these huge goals and he would be like, you are completely crazy. There's no way. And so I'm like, no, I think we can do it. Like this, you know, this is what we can do. And so, one of those, you know, one of the goals, the opportunity came that we could start flipping houses on our own. And doing that was going to help us reach other goals that we had. And so I'm like, Matt, we just have to start. We have to start. It's the scariest thing. We've always helped my dad, or we've always had my dad to lean on. You know, he would always buy the houses and then we would just help him do the work. But this time it was going to be us. Like the houses were under our name. But we just had to start. And again, just by starting, we learned so much. We learned so much through every process, but just by starting I was able to say, told you so to Matt when we reached those crazy goals. And when he told me, you are so crazy, we reached those goals and flipping houses is, you know, helped us reach those a lot quicker. And so, and right now there's actually some other real estate ventures that we've been talking about. And so, you know, it's always in the back of my head and I'm always thinking about it, which tells me that this is something I need to look into and this is here for a reason. And so, I've been trying to get on the phone and get with, I want Matt on the phone, me on the phone. And so it just kept not working out. And so we had to talk to this realtor and this other person. And so, it's like, okay, I guess we just shouldn't do it. Like it just kept, you know, coming back like it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And so it's like, no, I have to start. So this is a different venture. We've never done this before, but if we want to reach some of these other goals we've got to start somewhere. So let's start here. I have to schedule this phone call. You have to get in, we have to do a conference call because we're going to have to do it during the day when you're at work. I'm here, working from home. And so you just have to make it happen. And so that's where we are with that. But it's something, this whole just starting notion is something that you will find it in every aspect of your life, right? Anything you want to change, any goal you want to reach, it all has to start with you starting somewhere. And I just want to encourage you to really sit down and write out your goals, write out your aspirations, write out the things that you really, really want. Because when you sit down and look at it, and then you will find, once I started writing down goals and really just seeing them out in front of me, it really helped us. And we do this every year. We write down goals. And so Matt and I sit down and do this. And so, but then pick a starting point. So, if your goal is to start a podcast, pick what you're going to do right now to start. So it may be researching different platforms that you can record on, finding out how you upload a podcast, writing down 10 topics right now that you could talk about on a podcast. Just start. If you're wanting to write a book someday, sit down and start. Write a chapter. List out the chapters. What do you want to write about? Just start brainstorming, but just start. Don't just let the scary, here's where I think we all end up. Oh, I want to write a book someday. And that's it. But if that's really on your heart and that's really a goal, start. Life is so, so short. You don't want to come to the end. And this right here is what has helped me with so many decisions lately. I don't want to come to the end and be like, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? I could have done that. And you could call them regrets, but more, I'm not going to be laying, at being at the end and saying, I am so mad I wrote that book, or I started that book, or I'm so mad I recorded those podcasts, or do you know what I'm saying? I don't, life is so short. If it's on your heart, if it's something, a goal you have, if it's a hobby you want to turn into a business, if it's you want to get out of debt, if it's you want to, I don't know, whatever it is, you just have to start. Write it down, take a few minutes and just start something around that, in that direction, and then see what happens from there. But we have to stop getting, paralyzed with the what ifs. Oh no, could this happen? Oh no, it might cost $20, $40, $100. We just have to stop getting in that paralyzed space of not doing anything and just start. Just start. And it may be something that you start and then you see this isn't going to work and you have to totally go in a different direction or stop it. And you're like, nope, this is not what it is, but I need to do this. In you starting, you will be led into the direction that you need to go or the things that you need to do. But if you never start at all, you will not be led anywhere, right? You're just going to be stuck in your comfort zone, not growing, not experiencing, you're just going to stay still where you are. And there's no fun in that. So I just wanted to talk about this today because it's something that's come up for me personally. It's something that I've had to talk a couple people off the ledge, over the weekend. And so I just thought this might be a good topic to talk about today. So I'm encouraging you today to start. And if you guys would share what you're going to start, if this encourages you to start or just inspires you to start something that you've had on your heart or a goal you've wanted to do. If you want to get out of debt, start today. Stop going to Starbucks 3 times a week, or, start tracking what you're spending every day. Start keeping a better tabs on your monthly budget and what goes in and what comes out. Start doing that today. I would love if you post it on your social media. If you just want to send me a private message on Instagram at My Creative Days, if you want to send me an email, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you're going to start today, because, and then come back to me in a year and let me know where that start led you. That would make me so happy. Okay. That's it today, guys. I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.